This is Marc Rudov, branding advisor to CEOs and author of the new book, Intrabranding, the keystone of corporate agility. Now, in my book, I talk about the dysfunctional enterprise, which I call the Entroprise. The Entroprise is a word I coined. It's a portmanteau of entropy, which means chaos, and enterprise, which is a company. You put them together and you get Entroprise. And most enterprises, in my experience, are entroprises, meaning that the left and right hands have never met. I discuss this in more details in my book, Intrabranding, in chapters 7 and 8. In Chapter 7, it's called Entroprise Basics. Chapter 8 is Entroprise Profiles, actual examples of actual enterprises. What happens is there is very little functional and productive and effective communication around the company, from the CEO outward and from the extremities of the enterprise back to the CEO. And so people literally don't know what's going on. This is all too common. I deal with companies all the time, both as a consultant and a customer. And let me tell you, I have spent so many hours, all told, on the phone, screaming at people, yelling at people, because they don't know what the hell they're doing. Now, I've been writing and speaking about branding for a long time now. And the branding is the external corporate message that is the genesis of any company's purpose and direction. It describes the emotional connection that customers have with any given company. It's not a product. It's not a product name. It's not a company. It's not a company name. It's an emotional connection. It's intangible. It's not a thing. That's why so many companies don't know anything about branding. Now, if you don't have any good communication on the inside of your company, how is it that the people inside your company will have any clue what your brand is? And let me tell you, if they don't know what the brand is, they're not going to adhere to it. They're not going to build products to it, services to it. It's a disaster. Let me show you a clip from the iconic movie Office Space. Office Space is about this guy, Peter Gibbons, played by Ron Livingston, who hates his job at the software company Initech. Initech is doing so badly. It is your typical enterprise. Nobody in that company has any clue what's going on. Nobody is motivated to do anything. People are just trying to get by, not get fired, collect their paychecks, and of course get health care. It's amazing how many companies operate that way. So eventually the company decides that it has to downsize, and it hires 2 consultants to come in to figure out whom to lay off. Now, in this clip I'm going to show you, Peter Gibbons is explaining what his typical day is like and why things are so screwed up at his company. Take a look.
Peter, would you be a good sport and indulge us and just tell us a little more?
Oh, yeah. Let me tell you something about TPS reports.
DPS.
The thing is, Bob, it's not that I'm lazy. It's that I just don't care.
Don't care?
It's a problem of motivation, all right? Now, if I work my ass off and Initech ships a few extra units, I don't see another dime. So where's the motivation? And here's something else, Bob. I have 8 different bosses right now.
Beg your pardon?
8 bosses.
8?
8, Bob. So that means that when I make a mistake, I have 8 different people coming by to tell me about it. That's my only real motivation, is not to be hassled. That and the fear of losing my job. But you know, Bob, that'll only make someone work just hard enough not to get fired.
Would you bear with me for just a second, please?
Okay.
What if, and believe me, this is so hypothetical, but what if you were offered some kind of a stock option equity sharing program? Would that do anything for you?
I don't know, I guess. Listen, I'm gonna go. It's been really nice talking to both of you guys.
Absolutely.
The pleasure's all on this side of the table, trust me.
Good luck with your layoffs, all right? I hope your firings go really well.
Excellent.
Great.
Now, what's become very clear about Peter Gibbons and his job is, as I said before, he's not motivated. Why isn't he motivated? He doesn't know why he's there. And that's what the brand does. It tells everybody in the company what the purpose of the company is. And if people don't know the brand, then they don't know why they're there. Again, as I said, except to collect a check and get health insurance. And when this is the case, customers know it. When you deal with a company whose employees don't know why they're there, it shows. And it turns customers off. It's amazing how often upper management doesn't even know this is happening. It is pathetic, and it is so common. Initech is the quintessential Entroprise. I'm sure when you see it, and when you think about what I'm saying, perhaps your own company will come to mind. So what is intrabranding? Why will intrabranding cure the ills of your Entroprise? Intrabranding is continuously selling and enforcing the brand internally. That's the CEO's job. And when the CEO is successful at intrabranding, all the employees know, accept, and adopt the brand. So they know why they're there. They know why they're building the products that they do. They can actually innovate to please customers. And that's key. Inventing something is not innovating. Enhancing customers' lives with products and services on a continuous basis is innovating. No enterprise can innovate. No enterprise has tons of happy customers chomping at the bit to do repeat business. Just ain't gonna happen. Does this sound like your company? You know whether you have an enterprise or not. You know it. Talk to the people. Ask your employees, what is our brand? If they don't know what the hell you're asking them, if you hear crickets, you have failed. They don't know the brand. They don't know why they're there. If your employees don't know the brand on the inside of the building, it will fail on the outside of the building. That is one of the key principles of intrabranding. You do not want your employees to be like Peter Gibbons of Initech from that video clip, who is just there not to get into trouble and just collect a check and do as little work as possible. No accountability, no motivation. This is what happens when people in your company don't know what the brand is. So I encourage you, with as much speed and alacrity as possible, to get my book right now. You can get it at intrabranding.com. After you read it and understand the principles and how they apply to your enterprise, you can contact me for further help. Again, I am Marc Rudov, branding advisor to CEOs and the author of this new book, Intrabranding, the Keystone of Corporate Agility. Eliminate your enterprise today. Turn it into a highly functional, effective, and agile enterprise.